Welcome everybody to a brand new Blu-ray and DVD out and about video today. And this week releases the sci-fi action weird mindbender Tenet, hitting store shelves along with the action thriller Infidel. And Arrow Video is releasing a 4K special edition of the 1990 horror comedy classic Tremors, plus much more. So let's go see the deals, exclusives, and we are at our first location, Walmart. So let's go in and see what they got. All right, we are in at Walmart, and actually a few releases worth checking out this week. And of course, we have to start with Tenet, baby. Yes, the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital for $29.96, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $24.96, and the DVD for $16.96. And what I really love about this, guys, is that each different edition has different artwork to it, and you rarely see that anymore. There's a few instances in the past where you have, but not as many as I like to see. But this is really great. Again, different artwork depending on if you're just a 4K lover or a Blu-ray lover or a DVD. You get different artwork depending, and it's kind of really unique, and I always love that. It's always kind of nice to get something unique and different with your releases, and artwork is some of the best ever to do that, sort of differentiate between the formats. And this is just really cool. I always really love when studios do this. It's a little bit better than just having the same artwork all the way around, you know what I'm saying, man? But they do have all of the editions, that's for sure, man. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, okay? So I wanted to watch this in the movie theater. Now, it did get a theatrical release, but a very limited release. You have to remember that the coronavirus was really raging at this point, guys. I mean, very much raging, big time. A lot of movie theaters were closed. Some were open, and Warner Brothers kind of wanted to hold this release back longer, but basically Christopher Nolan was like, look, I don't want to hold it back anymore. Let's put it in theaters. Let's do this. And they did. Some were able to see it in the movie theaters, others weren't, like myself. So I finally got a chance to watch it on Amazon Prime. But I was looking forward to it, because I'm a fan of Christopher Nolan, man. I mean, the guy's creative. He's a genius filmmaker. So I wanted to see the next weird mind bender that guy was going to do. So why not, man? Now, God, trying to tell you about the plot. Basically, it's about this guy that's trying to stop some sort of war or terrorism from happening, and in order to do that, he has to revert and invert back and forth and jump through time. Yeah, if you're a little confused, I definitely was watching this. Now, I'm going to start off right off the bat saying the movie looks beautiful. It's gorgeous to look at. I mean, obviously, Christopher Nolan knows how to make a movie. That's for damn sure. It's stunning. The action scenes are action-packed and stellar and really incredibly well done and well choreographed. I thought the acting here was great. John David Washington is tremendous here. Robert Pattinson. Everybody involved does a really phenomenal job here. So, you know, you have a lot of top-notch stuff in this movie. The problem is the story itself. And man, the story, I'm not gonna lie, the story is really confusing. Now, I only watched the movie once. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I only watched the movie once. And maybe if I watch it a second or third time, maybe it would start to make a little bit more sense. But the problem is like it really is majorly confusing. And trying to keep track of, are they in the past? Are they in the present? Is this version of the character know about this version of the character? What is this version of the character in the past doing versus the character in the present? And how are they intersecting with one another? It's a lot to keep track of, and it's a lot of confusion. It really is, man. And I think that's the ultimate problem with the movie, is that as an audience member, you're never really able to catch up with the movie. That's really the problem with it. Everything around the movie is fantastic. And it's a really bold, unique idea and a unique version of time travel. But I don't think it's explained very well. I don't think that the movie goes out of its way to make you understand it as well as maybe it should. And at the end of the day, I think a lot of people just left this movie really scratching their heads. And really left kind of with a bad taste in their mouth. Even though everything around it was really well done, and the acting was, and everything else turned out to be really top notch. And again, when Christopher Nolan makes a movie, he makes a solid movie. And this is a really good movie, but it comes off as just a huge clusterfuck that really, you kind of have an idea a little bit about some things in the movie, but at least for me, I was scratching my head, and at times I was trying to keep up with what was going on with the movie. And the problem also is the movie's about close to 2.5 hours long, and the problem with that is that it moves fast. I mean, they're talking about quantum physics, they're talking about like moving back and forth through time, and how people in the future want to affect the present and the past, and I'm like, wow, can you guys slow down a second? Like, this just goes one thing after another. And it really just was hard to keep up with it. And I think even though the story is really genuine and unique, I don't think there was enough emotional weight to really carry the movie for audiences past the whole science fiction going back and forth through time angle. And I think a lot of people didn't really feel as invested in the movie as they should have. I mean, overall, look, the movie's good. But I think the story and the plot lets the movie down, and just is frankly just one confusing scenario after another. Truly, man. I mean, at the end of the movie, I had to go and watch some things on YouTube, like Tenet Explained. I'm like, well, can I get somebody to tell me what the fuck just happened here? I mean, it's beautiful in the way it's shot. It's got some really great imagery and sequences, but man, the plot just really fails here. And as a filmmaker, Christopher Nolan is bold, and it's good to be a bold filmmaker, but at a certain point, you kind of got to rein it in a little. And with Tenet, Nolan, even though he tried and he went for that home run, he went for the fences, but he might have got a double, maybe a triple, but definitely not a home run. And then I'm seeing they have the DVD of The Call for $12.96 from the creator of Final Destination. I love that cover, baby. Look at that cover, man. Awesome. An eerie throwback to 80s horror. Yeah, it actually is, man. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime. Now, I wanted to watch it because of Lynn Shay and Tobin Bell. Okay, I wanted to watch it because of them, because, hello, I'm a horror movie lover. Lynn Shay has been in a lot of horror movies. Tobin Bell, Saw. I'm a big fan of the Saw franchise. So, for me, that was sort of the gimme. That was the one thing I was definitely going in and wanting to watch it for them. But also from the creator of Final Destination, which, yeah, not all the Final Destination is great, but there are some that I really do enjoy, though. So, figured why not, man. 4 friends, 1 phone call, 60 seconds, stay alive. Very nice. Now, basically, this movie takes place in 1987, prime 80s, baby, prime. And it's basically about these teenagers in high school who are abusing this poor old woman and blaming her for the disappearance of this girl's sister. They believe that she caused her death, that she went missing because of her, and basically the whole community hates this woman. And one night she decides to kill herself, commit suicide. And her husband, Tobin Bell, basically brings all of the teenagers together in the house and basically says, hey, she put you in the will, and you have a chance to gain a lot of money, but you have to go upstairs and make a phone call. And this phone call has to last for a minute. And if it does, you will get a lot of money. And these teenagers are like, okay, we don't like this woman, but hey, we're going to get a phone call? Of course we are. Why the hell not, man? I mean, it makes perfect sense to us. And so they do that. But what they're in store for is going to be the nightmare of their lives. You know what, man? This was a good movie. I really did enjoy this one, man. Seriously. I thought the horror elements were really good. I love the 80s vibe. I mean, I'm a fan of the 80s. I love that 80s nostalgia shit, man. They don't overdo it, but they do it just enough where you know where it's at. You know what it is, man. I thought that Tobin Bell was really creepy, really effective here. And I thought Lynn Shay was great. I mean, look at that, man. Lynn Shay, man. She is scary and creepy with the gruesome makeup. The terrifying bulgy eyes. Like, she's great, man. And her terrifying these kids and bringing up their worst nightmares and their worst imageries in their life and their past coming to haunt them. So good, man. And it's a great sort of comeuppance movie of kids that deserve what they get. And I really love that, man. I thought the kills were pretty cool. I love the creepiness vibe to it. The sort of 80s horror throwback. Tobin Bell was effective here. Lynn Shay in their small roles. But for sort of a indie horror movie that probably not many people know about, it's honestly really effective, man. And the calls are creepy. And I love the backstories. You get to care about some of the characters, and you get to find some really cool and interesting reveals that you didn't see coming, some unexpected stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed this one. I really did, man. I mean, a lot of indie horror stuff is frankly kind of shit, but The Call was honestly a really great, pleasant surprise, well worth diving into for all you horror lovers out there. And what do we have here? Battle of the Bulge, Winter War. One last chance for greatness with my man Tom Berenger and Billy Zane. Look at that. Nice. Well, nice that they're in a movie, but kind of looks a little cheapo to me. I don't know, the cover looks really cheap, man. Oh, I don't know about this one. Lieutenant Robert Kemp and his platoon of the second order. Onslaught tanks, infantry, and artillery. I'm not gonna lie, guys. This looks really cheapo to me. It looks like a really cheaply made war movie. I'm serious. It doesn't look like it was made very competently. I'm being nice, man. I mean, even the cover looks a little cheapo for my taste. I mean, look, I've told you guys so many times, I love war movies. I think war movies are great, man. There's so many that are amazing classics, but Winter War looks really on the it looks rough, man. Let's just put it that way. Like I said, you know, I love a good war movie, but it has to be made very competently. It has to have the money behind it for the special effects and the costumes and you name it. Sort of that period feeling. This sort of looks like kind of slapdash together. I mean, I love Tom Berenger. I love Billy Zane, man. They're great actors, man, and I love them so much. Some of their old school movies, but I guess anything for a paycheck, right? I mean, I guess it doesn't have to be good. However, I kind of prefer it. Just saying. Oh, okay. Doesn't look right to me. But one that was actually a surprise is Chick Fight, the DVD for $9.96. And I'm actually really happy to see this here because I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime. And I wanted to because I really like the trailer, man. I thought it looked kind of fun. And I like some of the actors involved in it. So I was like, what the hell? You know, why not give it a chance? I mean, basically it's about this woman played by Malin Ackerman. And boy, she is Man, she is just going through one dilemma after another. You know, her business burns down. She's having issues with paying bills. Her father now suddenly turns gay out of absolutely nowhere. People are abandoning her, and she's just having one bad fucking situation after another. And one of her best friends says, "You know what you need? You need to be part of a fight club." Because you know what? Apparently that solves everything. If you're having a really bad time in your life, why not just beat the shit out of people? Actually, you know what? That kind of makes sense. that kind of does. I'm not gonna lie, man. So she actually does this, and she starts to sort of feel more confidence about herself, and you know, sort of learn about her and grow and become a better person. You know, all that jazz. This was a surprisingly good movie. Swear to God, it was a really big surprise because I thought going into this, I thought, okay, it looked fun, but I thought this could be really sort of just this sort of chick romance garbage movie. It had the potential to be, but it surprised me in a really pleasant way. It really did, man. I thought Malin Ackerman was great here. Alec Baldwin is really fun as this sort of drunk guy that's trying to coach Malin Ackerman how to fight. Like it's great. He's awesome and he's having a lot of fun. And Bella Thorne, man, she is one badass babe, man. She is kick ass in this movie, man. She's like one of the chicks in like the female fight club, and she's like kicking everybody's ass. She is one badass bitch. Seriously, she is awesome, man. I thought the movie was really fun. It had a lot of really great, hilarious, and funny moments to it. I thought the characters were really likable and interesting and just fun to be around and watch it in the movie. I mean, yeah, it's a Fight Club movie, and yeah, it's like Fight Club light. I mean, you're not gonna get like, you know, like Brad Pitt Fight Club. You're not gonna get that, man. I mean, it'd be cool. Don't get me wrong. I mean, for a chick Fight Club, that would be kind of awesome. You don't get that, but you do get some really kick-ass sequences within the Fight Club arena there. And at the end of the day, it's a heartwarming tale about a woman finding herself. And honestly, it was just a fun movie that I really enjoyed, man. So for me, I really enjoyed this one. Surprise, surprise. I was ready to go in thinking this movie was going to be real garbage, but man, I really enjoyed it. And, you know, chicks beating the shit out of each other. I love a good cat fight. I mean, who doesn't, man? It was a pretty fun one. Not gonna lie, man. And some really interesting releases this week. A little romance chick fighting, cheapo war, really great and underrated horror flick, and some sci-fi mindbender goodness. Not half bad, man. Very interesting this week. All right, let's head out. Honestly, I can't really complain this week. I mean, usually I have something to complain about with Walmart one way or another, about, you know, them not carrying a lot of the releases, and yeah, they didn't have, I'm sure, everything this week, clearly, but they did have, honestly, enough. I mean, they had the big new release, they had some indie titles to check out. I mean, I'm not asking for the world, I'm just asking for a decent amount of releases worth checking out, and Walmart definitely did that. So, yeah, surprise, surprise. You know, not the biggest abundance of titles in the world that this Walmart gets, but sometimes they get just enough that it does satisfy me. And this week, I think they definitely did. Not half bad. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head to the next location and see what more physical media goodness we can find. All right, everybody, we are at our second location, Target. But before we go in, I want to talk to you guys about something. So I saw this article about a few days ago talking about physical media and whether it was going to endure in the days of digital. Now, I've talked to you guys about this before. This was actually an article from the UK, which was an interesting one. But, you know, they talked about something in the article that is interesting, and what they talked about was how physical media now has basically leaned more on these niche labels than the big studios, companies like Warner Brothers and Universal and Disney. And I agree with that statement. I do actually. Look, when physical media really started, you see the VHSs, or you see the early DVDs. It was these companies that really were taking it and running with it. The early stuff like The Matrix coming out on DVD, or Star Wars Episode 1. All of these movies that were coming out on this format, it was the major companies that were doing it. And they were doing it because they they felt the need to capitalize on this, something new, unique, interesting, that's going to really help them make, a lot of money, which it did. Now everybody's more moving to digital. But with that being said, there's a lot of movies that have in a lot of ways kind of almost been abandoned by these companies. Movies that maybe are in their vaults that, well, yeah, it's not, The Matrix, or it's not the Gone with the Wind, or it's not the Alien or the Predators. We don't want to put it out. And so these companies like a Shout Factory, Arrow, Criterion, Severin, Vinegar Syndrome, oh my God, 88 Films, Kino Lorber, you name it, they're all over the place. These are the companies now that are keeping physical media alive. Truly, they are the companies that are really going out of their way to showcase these films that haven't gotten a lot of love on physical media, haven't gotten a lot of love from these companies, and would never otherwise. And I think now we've moved into a collector market more than anything else. And I understand why we do that, because when something is popular, the masses come to it. I mean, the masses just jump on it big time. They do, because it's popular, everybody's into it. But eventually that fades. And what you get is you get the collector market. You get these people who are hardcore collectors, who love the medium, who love the movies on the physical media format. And that's what you get. And that's where we are now. That's where we've been for a while. And, there's always been this talk of Disney is going to get rid of physical media. And there's been all this talk of, these streaming services taking over. But the lifeblood of the physical media format has been for a while these companies that take these underappreciated movies and give them the great artwork, give them the special features, the packaging, and then gives it to you guys. And I feel like physical media has stayed alive because of that. And look, there's a lot of great movies out there that might have been released by a studio and hasn't gotten the kind of love because they just want to plop it out on physical media and put it out there without any special features, without anything to entice you. And, well, you're either going to buy it or you're not. These labels, they go out of their way to put in the effort and the work and the interest in these titles, because they want to make money. This is a business, after all. And these companies are relying on you collectors and you lovers of physical media out there to keep them going year after year. And I think now it's no longer about, about these major companies versus these indie niche labels. It's about the niche labels that are keeping physical media and the format alive. And the fact that these companies haven't fully abandoned physical media, but they haven't exactly continued to really care as much as they have. And so, next time you're on one of these physical media websites, whether you're going and checking out a sale or supporting a label, understand that yes, you are supporting that label, but you're also supporting as a collector of physical media and keeping that alive. And you're telling that company that you still care with your hard-earned money. Nowadays everyone's vying for your dollars through digital, and I understand it because, the cost of cable is high. Everybody's moving to streaming, and they're capitalizing on it. I get it. I do. But at the end of the day, you can't forget the fact that a lot of these movies are not coming to these streaming sites, that they don't care about the smaller niche titles. They care about the big ones, and that people are going to have their eyeballs on them. They don't care about the smaller stuff, and these companies do. And they're hoping that you will care enough to put your hard-earned money into them and keep the physical media format alive so they can continue to acquire titles and keep putting out quality product for you guys. Sometimes it's not just about the movie itself, it's about the overall physical media and the fact that you're supporting the format overall with your purchases. And these companies are trying to survive because of it. You don't have to worry about the Disneys or the Universals or the Warner Brothers. They're going to be fine at the end of the day. It's these smaller companies who are working hard for your dollars and working hard to keep the format alive that really deserve the love and support and have for a really long time. I thought that was really interesting of an article, and I really liked where it went. And I agree wholeheartedly with it. I honestly do, guys. Definitely let me know what you think of that. Do you think that it is these labels that are propping up physical media and keeping it alive now, rather than the big companies, which are still putting out physical media, but it's no longer the lifeblood? They're not the ones that are keeping it alive. It's the smaller labels, and what they're doing really is important work. Truly. Definitely let me know, guys. In the meantime, not a bad physical media week. Some good stuff this week. But will Target have a lot of stuff? Well, don't know, but the only way to find out is to head inside, so let's check it out. All right, we are in at Target, and some interesting selection that looks like it's worth checking out. And the first thing I'm seeing is they have the 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray digital of Tenet for $29.99, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $24.99, and the DVD for $17.99. Not half bad with all the varieties. Now let's talk about Christopher Nolan, shall we? Now, I truly appreciate Christopher Nolan as a filmmaker. I really honestly do, guys. Now, that's not to say I love everything that he's ever done. Some films connect with me more than others, and the Batman trilogy, even though I recognize they're really great movies, they're not truly my cup of tea. But I really love his bold ideas, his great imagination, his amazing storytelling. He is one of the best modern-day filmmakers that we truly do have, and I honestly do recognize that. What I've noticed in a good amount of his films is that even with all the crazy concepts and wild ideas out there that he has, there's always an emotional core that's really there that centers the movie and makes it memorable for a lot of audiences out there. I mean, if you look at something like Memento, such unique filmmaking, almost like backwards filmmaking of a guy with short-term memory loss, but there's an emotional core there of a man that's lost moments in his life that he's trying to recapture and figuring out what happened with his wife, and it really resonates with you. Or even looking at a movie like Interstellar, which with such really wild and crazy ideas and concepts, stuff that sometimes really goes over people's heads, at the end of the day, it's an emotional center of a relationship between a father and a daughter, and how a parent will do anything, even being in space, to get back to the one that he truly loves. And that centers a film. That really makes people want to be able to see it and to relate to the movie. And that's ultimately the problem with Tenet. Like I said, with all the great action and amazing acting, I mean, Kenneth Branagh is awesome in this film, man, as just the bad guy, man. He's awesome, man. He chews the screen in the best way possible. But the problem is there's not really, to me at least, an emotional center to the movie. There's supposed to be this story about this woman and child that's trying to get away from this abusive guy, and there's supposed to be some great emotional drama there, but we don't really get to know the kid all that much. We don't really even see the kid, and the relationship doesn't get enough play that we really care about it enough. I mean, it's a great idea. It's almost like James Bond on ecstasy, if you really think about it. It really is. It's almost like a James Bond on ecstasy style of film. And that's cool and everything, and the action and the sci-fi concepts are unique and are interesting to watch, but at the end of the day, it didn't connect, I think, with audiences as well as it should have. And I think that's on Christopher Nolan as well. I mean, look, he has some really great movies that have really great emotional centers, but then he has certain movies that don't really connect with you the way they should. And, a movie can be as huge, big budget blockbuster as possible, wild concepts, but if it doesn't connect with an audience, then unfortunately it's all for naught. And with Tenet, that kind of feels that way. I don't know whether you guys agree or not, but this one, as far as Christopher Nolan goes, as far as an emotional core center, the movie kind of falls a little bit flat. Then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray of Infidel for $22.99. Actually, it's really great to see it here. Awesome, man. I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I wanted to because, well, Jim Caviezel's a good actor, but it isn't based on truly incredible events, man. Really, it is. Basically, it's about this American that goes over to do this conference overseas, and he gets kidnapped by the Iranian regime, put on trial, told he's a spy, and it's basically the journey of his wife who's trying to go through all the channels she can to try to secure his freedom. It's a wild, incredible, amazing, true story. The acting here is phenomenal. Jim Caviezel does a really great job here. The tension of this man who's done nothing wrong, but becomes a prisoner just because of his beliefs and what he's talking about, and the idea that a government can twist somebody and twist their beliefs and their words around to fit their own agendas and accuse somebody of doing something that they didn't even do. It really is incredible, and it's just shocking that this stuff really happens, man. Truly, it is a really shocking about this, but it's a well done story. It's really well told. The drama is very well done here, and it makes me not want to go overseas. Seriously, like, I mean, man, it's so weird how you go to someplace else, and even though you think that everybody has your same beliefs and your same way of thinking, that's not true. And doing one wrong thing could ruin your life for forever. Literally, it practically cause you death. And it's shocking. It's phenomenal what happened to this person, what happened to the whole situation. I mean, I won't go into all of it, but it is a really well told, well done story. The acting is phenomenal here, and there's a lot of stories like this, and it's just amazing to think that these things really do still go on to this day. Phenomenal, but really well done, man. Really great, well done, dramatic thriller that if you love these type of true life event tales, this is definitely worth checking out, man. Truly is. And then I'm seeing they have the DVD of the opening act for $10.99. Now, I know this movie came out this week, but I did not get a chance to watch it. Jimmy O. Yang and Cedric the Entertainer, a bunch of others. To get to the top, you have to start at the bottom. Well, I hate to say it, but that is the truth. And, oh, is that like a hairpiece on Cedric the Entertainer? Oh god, that looks like a bad hairpiece on him, man. Jeez. Okay, what is this exactly? Will Chu is in a thankless job while trying to pursue his true passion in life, becoming a stand-up comedian. Opportunity, he's been waiting for it. Oh, okay. So it's sort of like the hard life of trying to make it big and the complications of that and the comedy of it. Okay. Okay, sounds interesting. I mean, I do like Cedric the Entertainer sometimes. I mean, some of the barbershop stuff isn't bad, so I mean, there is that. Jimmy O. Yang I have seen in a couple things, but not a lot. But I hear he is a pretty funny guy. The movie kind of almost reminds me of maybe like a modern day version of Punchline with Tom Hanks and Sally Field. And that's a really great movie. Basically about Sally Field trying her hand at stand-up, and sort of Tom Hanks is sort of the big dog, and she's got to try to maybe kind of steal his thunder a little bit, type of thing, like that. It kind of reminds me a little bit of that. It looks interesting. I mean, a lot of these sort of stand-up comedian movies, some of them are better than others. A lot of them I'm not a huge fan of, but movies like Punchline I am, and The King of Comedy is a pretty good one as well. I like that one too, but a lot of them, I know, like, there's a few that have been made within the last like 5 or 10 years, and some of them I'm not a big fan of. Could this be good? It's possible. Anything's possible. Will it be? Oh, I guess you guys just gotta let me know. Let me know on that one. And then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray digital of The Wolf of Snow Hollow for $14.99. Oh, look at that cover art. I do love that cover art, man. That is great. I love that so much, man. Now, I watched this on Amazon Prime. Now, I wanted to watch it because I love werewolf movies. There are some really awesome ones, and this had the potential to be a really good one worth watching. So I figured, why not give it a try? There is the potential. Did it succeed or not? Well, the movie is basically about this small town that, after every full moon, there is this really terrible, gruesome murder that happens. And the police department and this officer have to try to figure out what's going on here, solve the case. Is it a really like ravaged human being out there that's doing all these killings, or is it something a little bit more supernatural? So I went in with kind of unknown expectations because I didn't quite know what to expect with this one. It had the potential to be a really great werewolf tale. On the other hand, it could have dropped the ball. Let's just put that away. It could have dropped the ball. At the end of the day, there is a lot of things going for this. First of all, the killings are amazing. They're really gruesome. Body parts flying all over the place. Blood spraying constantly. Great kills here, man. And the characters overall are actually pretty damn good. They're very unique, very quirky, very interesting personalities. Almost reminded me of like some characters you'd see out of like Twin Peaks or something. Just really odd, but kind of likable. They kind of reminded me of that. I like the setting with sort of this small town in the snow where you can really see the red blood and the body parts. Like, it's got a lot going for it. There is a couple things that are a little bit of a downside. One is the main character, this guy right here, man. Now, most of the characters are likable, but this guy, damn, this guy, man. Okay, so the thing about it with this guy is that he comes off kind of like a dickhead. Like, seriously, a total dickweed. I mean, because, I understand there's a lot of frustrations and issues that this guy has, right? I mean, everybody wants him to solve the case, and they're on his ass constantly. Killings going on all over the place. He's got frustrations with his daughter, who is kind of maybe trying to sleep with this one teenager that he definitely doesn't want her to sleep with. And issues with his father that just won't fucking retire. And I get it. But the character itself comes off a little bit standoffish and kind of frustrating to me. And it was hard to root for the person. Like, the rest of the movie around him is really kind of cool. And got some really great horror and comedy vibes, but he came off just as kind of annoying and a little too much for the movie at times. I was like, dude, just fucking take a Xanax or something. Fuck, man. Like, shit. Like, he really needed to calm the fuck down. Just a little bit. The character needed to. And it kind of turned me off a bit, put it that way. And the other thing about this movie, and I'm very curious as to what some people are really going to think about this, is the twist ending. Now, I don't mind a good twist ending. I really do. I went into this thinking it was going to be a werewolf movie. I really did. And there is a werewolf in this movie. There is a design. The design of the werewolf is really cool, very big, imposing, really threatening, really great design of a werewolf creature. But the twist it's kind of interesting, because on one hand, I like that there was a twist to it, that it wasn't your standard werewolf film. There was a little more to it. But I have a feeling that some people are going to be very frustrated by the ending. And some people are going to feel like maybe they got cheated out of perhaps a full, complete werewolf film. I gotta admit, the ending is something that I didn't see coming. It was an interesting idea. I liked it. But I can see people leaving the film being very frustrated and feeling like they're kind of cheated by the film a little bit, that it promised something that it didn't quite deliver on. I can see that. Whether the film is going to live and die as sort of an underground classic, I think really kind of is based on the ending. Some people are really going to like it. Other people are very frustrated by it. For me, I liked it, but I could see where I felt a little bit like I didn't fully get my money's worth, almost. It's an interesting sort of killer on the loose werewolf tale that had the potential to fully deliver, but doesn't quite go there. Still a really good one worth diving into. If you love werewolf movies and killers on the loose, The Wolf of Snow Hollow is a pretty good time. And I gotta admit, killers killing people in gruesome ways, hell, I'll take it. And then I'm seeing they have the DVD digital of Echo Boomers. The DVD for $12.99. Don't get mad. Get everything. Very nice. Now, I got a chance to watch this on Amazon Prime, and I wanted to mainly because of the cast here. I mean, Michael Shannon, Alex Pettyfer, Patrick Schwarzenegger. I was thinking, wait a minute, this is a really good cast. How have I not heard about this movie? So it kind of piqued my interest. So basically, this movie is about this recent college graduate, played by Patrick Schwarzenegger, and he gets brought into this sort of criminal underground where these people are basically stealing from the rich and giving to themselves. These aren't modern day Robin Hoods, not by a long shot, guys, not at all, man. And they're basically stealing everything from these rich people, destroying all this stuff, and eventually all of that destruction sort of leads the cops their way, and it's a fight for survival from that point on. So look, I get the theme of the movie. The theme is basically, look, the haves and have-nots, and the idea that these people have amassed a lot of debt through college loans, and they're drowning and they're barely making ends meet, where all these other people are living it up and having lavish lifestyles and buying anything they want. I get that. And it's a really good, interesting dichotomy between the two. But it all comes down to the moral center of whether what they're doing is actually right in the long run. I mean, I get it. Look, I'm not the most richest guy in the world. I had college debt up the ass. Trust me, I did. A massive amount of college debt that has finally, after the beginning of this year, finally got completely paid off, man. After, I don't know, 10-ish years of me paying it. It was crazy. And I'm not rich by any means. But what these people are doing, there's a certain moral aspect to it that you ask yourself, is this the right way to go about it? And I like that moral centerpiece of the story. I mean, Patrick Schwarzenegger here is basically playing the good guy, and Alex Pettyfer and Michael Shannon are more playing the seedy bad guys who don't care about what they're doing, don't care about the consequences. They just want to continue to rob and steal from these people and make profits off of it. Then they don't care about the consequences. And I like the idea of this innocent kid who is brought into a situation that is way over his head. I like the drama of it. I like the thrilling aspect of of stealing from these people, destroying these properties, but yet the excitement of it. And the idea that, oh my God, we're getting to do stuff that few people rarely ever get to do. And there's a thrill ride and a joyride aspect to that is almost kind of like adrenaline for these people, and that's why they're doing it. It's a unique and interesting tale about how far is too far. And I liked it. I thought it was really well done. I thought the acting here is really great from everybody, especially Patrick Schwarzenegger, who is an actor that's still trying to find his footing. An actor that's still trying to maybe find his place within the movie industry, trying not to be overshadowed by his father. He does a really good job here, man, and so does Shannon and everybody involved. I like the crime aspects to it. I like the action. It's well done. It's not the best sort of crime thriller you're ever going to see in your life. I do think there's better movies out there. I mean, this movie is no Heat by any means, but it's a good film, though, and I do really enjoy it, and I think it's pretty well done overall. So for me, yeah, this is a recommend. I do really like this one. It is pretty decent overall, and I hear it's actually supposed to be based on a true story, but I don't know whether it truly is or they just kind of made that up. If it is, it's a wild true story. I would definitely like to find out more about it, but it is a fascinating watch. It's about an hour and a half, give or take, but it's a well-told story, and it's a pretty good little crime thriller worth exploring. Not half bad, dare I say. And not half bad this week at Target. Some really interesting stuff. Glad I came in here. Some stuff I definitely wasn't expecting. All right, let's head out. I really wasn't expecting Target to be good this week. Seriously, I just wasn't. I mean, outside of Tenet, there's a lot of really cool, interesting indie flicks that are out. But most of the time, usually Target doesn't really carry those. So I was like, okay, this is probably going to be a bust here outside of Tenet and maybe one or two other ones. But Target sometimes, I'm telling you, man, Target sometimes really surprises me, and this time they definitely did. Some ones I didn't think they were going to carry, some ones we hadn't seen yet at the first store. Dare I say, Target actually delivered this week. I mean, they don't have all of the indie stuff that I know came out this week, but honestly, it's way more than I thought we were going to get. And for Target, that is a very unique and nice surprise. You know, most of the time, Target very much under delivers, but from time to time they do surprise me, and they do sometimes deliver unexpectedly, and this week was definitely one of them. Not half bad. Who would have thought it? Target. You never know. Alright, not half bad. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's head to the next location and find more physical media goodness. All right, everybody, we are at our third location, the second Walmart. I'm going to go in and see if there's any interesting indie titles worth exploring. If there is, I'm going to bring it back to Film Fan 108 headquarters and show it off to you guys. But before I do that, I kind of want to talk about a trailer. Now, there's a lot of trailers to talk about, but this one I wanted to, and that is Cobra Kai, baby. Yes, I want to talk about Cobra Kai. I really did, man. Season 3 coming to Netflix January. Dude, I can't wait. I cannot wait. It looks awesome. So I watched season 1 and season 2 on YouTube's premium platform when it was there, right? However, not many people really found Cobra Kai until it went on Netflix. Suddenly everybody is finding it and they're enjoying it, and oh my god, this is awesome. Like, dude, I was kind of ahead of you, as some people were, but I'm glad people are finally on board with it. And season 3 is debuting in January, and you know, the show is so great because you know, you think of like, what would a show about the Karate Kid series be? And there's a lot of ideas that would be thrown around, but the idea that Johnny would be this loser, almost like maybe, you know, the hero of the story, where that would have never been the case otherwise. And him slowly trying to regain his honor and build back up Cobra Kai. and his feud with Daniel LaRusso, it's all phenomenal. It's all amazing, great. I love it, man. And at the end of this second season, they kind of, the kids, were this big rivalry against each other. One of them got seriously injured. Of course, Johnny's mentor obviously took over Cobra Kai, and now he's out. And so season 3, from what the trailer looks like, is basically Johnny and Daniel having to basically team up with one another and try to take down Kreese. And I love that. I love that, dude, because Johnny and Daniel have this really great history of one guy succeeding and the other guy failing, and how that completely changed their lives, and how Johnny just really hates Daniel in so many ways. And now the fact that he has to team up with him, and how that's really complicated, and how the kids have to sort of maybe like figure out that maybe this isn't good for them, this rivalry that they have with one another, it's not working, that they think they're the good guys but they're not, and how they're growing up and how they have to take more responsibility. Dude, I love it. I think it has the potential to be a great season, truly. And I saw in the trailer, I could be wrong, but it looks like there's a couple characters from Karate Kid Part 3. I believe they're actually, no, not Karate Kid Part 3. I'm sorry, Karate Kid Part 2. Because I was almost thinking Karate Kid Part 3, and then I'm thinking, no, that's the one with the guy who does this scheme, this millionaire that does this scheme with the karate tournament. I was like, stupid. However, that would be cool if he comes back, though. But no, actually, Karate Kid 2. My bad, totally my bad. Yes, Karate Kid 2, where Daniel and Mr. Miyagi go overseas to visit his home. And they have this sort of tournament with these Chinese kids. Great film, by the way. It's an awesome film. But yes, I did notice that, and I was like, oh, that's really cool. I don't know if that's true or not, but I think that those are the actors, man. I thought, oh God, I'm awesome. I love this show. I really do. In fact, a coworker of mine recently got into it, watched all of them on Netflix, and we've had a really great discussion. He's actually a black belt in karate, and he talks to me about how unrealistic certain things are, and how, he saw this plot line coming a mile away, and I'm like, whatever. It's so great. I love this series. I really do. This is one of my favorite new series. When I first thought about what a Karate Kid movie spin-off series would be, I had everything in my mind except what they did. And I thought it's been brilliant, taking Johnny and making him this anti-hero and somebody who wants to do the right thing but doesn't always do that, and how there's somebody even worse than him, Kreese. Oh, you gotta take down Kreese, damn it. Them teaming up together is perfect, and I cannot wait to see where they're going to agree, where they're going to divide, how it's going to maybe strengthen a possible friendship, or maybe turn them even more into enemies. There's so many great things here, guys. So much potential, and I know they're already up for season 4, so I cannot wait, man. If you guys are anticipating this as I am, definitely let me know. I love it, man. I think it's great. In the meantime, let's head into the second Walmart and see if we can find any physical media goodness worth exploring. All right, I am in at the second Walmart, guys, and I got to admit, it is another dead zone here. I mean, seriously, there is not much releases to show off. A lot of empty holes yet again. I don't know whether they're just not getting the stock in, or whether it's just like they don't care anymore. I hope that's not the case, but like last week we saw a lot of physical media, some unique indie titles, and now not so much. I mean, the front, bare as hell. You have the side, a lot of holes. I guess time to start up that New Year's resolution for better media at this second Walmart. Let's hope that resolution comes true. Well, in the meantime, I guess nothing here. Sad but true, guys. Let's head next location and hopefully more media to show off. All right, everybody, we are at our fourth and final location, and it's always good to be back at the Beast. Yes, you guys know it. We are back at Beast Best Buy, baby. We are gonna go in and hopefully check out some really great physical media. I mean, honestly, guys, it's been some unique media to check out. Some interesting new releases, some indie titles at some of these locations where I definitely was not expecting it. And so now, let's hope that we've saved the best for last. We usually do. Let's hope the Beast delivers this time. Maybe some unique, interesting media we haven't seen, exclusives? It's possible. We won't know until we head inside. So let's check it out. And hopefully we find some physical media goodness, baby. All right, we are in at Best Buy under the new releases, and of course, it's Tenet, guys. The DVD for $17.99, the Blu-ray DVD digital for $24.99, the 4K Blu-ray digital for $29.99, and oh, some sweet collectible only at Best Buy Steelbook love. 4K Blu-ray and digital for $34.99. And look at this. This is a really nice steel, man. I like that. Part of the movie where they're going up the building. I like this sort of slanted look to it. Very nice. I like that. Not a bad steelbook, dare I say. Not bad at all. For all you collectible steelbook lovers out there, at least we got to see one exclusive for Tenet. I was hoping to see at least something for Tenet. I mean, it's a big enough movie. It deserved at least one exclusive, you know what I'm saying? Now, if you like a good sci-fi action mindbender of a movie like this movie, there's a couple that I can recommend to you. I can recommend, there's a movie from 1999 called The 13th Floor, which is actually pretty decent. It reminds me a lot of like The Matrix, but it never got the same kind of love as The Matrix did. Very mind-bendy. Of course, Dark City, which is amazing. Dark City is so good. My God, man. Dark City, talk about a movie that needs a collector's edition. Fuck. Dark City definitely does, man. So great. Also, from 2003, Time Crimes, which is really well done. Time Crimes is very excellent as well. And of course, you know, a lot of those other Christopher Nolan ones as well. Interstellar, Inception, you name it. Christopher Nolan tries to out-Nolan himself. Does he succeed with Tenet? I don't know, because I kind of like Inception a little bit better, and I kind of like Interstellar a little bit better as well. Time travel is very hard to do, and I think he tried to spin it in a very unique and interesting sci-fi way that made sense to him, but when you try to explain it in the movie, it's so difficult, and it doesn't come off really coherent at all. In fact, a lot of times it comes off, the more they try to explain it, the more it comes off as really confusing and convoluted and doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. Like I said, there's a lot of interesting and unique ideas here, but as I said, it doesn't all come together the way I was hoping it would. Let's put it that way, man. You know, it's interesting because I think Nolan swings for the fences, and I think he swings the right way, because, I mean, if you're going to do something bold like this, you might as well literally, like, go out of your way to, like, just go as big and bold as you possibly can. I mean, this is the same guy that did it in Inception and Interstellar. Of course he's going to do that. That's just how he is. But again, without an emotional great centerpiece here, it's kind of hard to hang on to the movie outside of its sci-fi nature. And the sci-fi nature is truly unique, but everything is like talked about really fast. And also, I gotta admit, guys, and I don't know whether you had issues with it, but when I was watching the movie, I didn't have any subtitles, and I kind of wish I did, because the audio quality was kind of weird. Like, it was very low, you could barely hear anything, and I had like my my volume up to like 50. Like I'm serious. Like I'm surprised one of my neighbors didn't come by and like literally like yell or like complain or something, because I'm like, I had it high up and I still could barely hear certain things, man. I mean, maybe that was meant to happen, maybe that was the mystery of it, but it doesn't quite come off great. At the end of the day, is this the best Christopher Nolan? No, it's not, but it's not the worst Christopher Nolan either. In fact, truth be told, I don't think there's really a bad Christopher Nolan movie per se. But I do think that because the movie doesn't really connect with audiences as well as it was hoping to, I think it loses something in translation. And I think in that way, some of the other movies come across a little bit better that have that emotional appeal to it. Whether it's the Dunkirks of the world, the Inceptions, Mementos, The Prestige, and many others. I appreciate that he went for the fences. I appreciate that he tried. It's a little bit of, well, let me put it this way. It's a successful failure, if that makes any sense. It's really bold in its ideas, but it fails within trying to make it digestible for audiences. Look, I love thinking man science fiction films. I love them. I absolutely love a good thinking man science fiction film. And this is, but at a certain point, just like with a lot of other films, you need to explain it. You need to come out and you really need to give the audience something that they can hold on to and relate to and understand. When it's all sort of riddles and you know, passing by sort of dialogue of, oh, I'm going to invert into this like 5 minutes ago, and it's got to be better explained. And this movie needed to do that. I think if it did, the movie would be phenomenal. The movie would be off the charts amazing, but it just doesn't stick that landing, unfortunately. It tried, but kind of failed. Hey, I would rather have something be a really bold and unique and genuine failure instead of something that's just really easily digestible and just a lot of Hollywood junk. You know what I'm saying? So give it credit where credit is due. You do have Look at the World in a New Way, the making of Tenet, an hour long, not bad. And that's all there is. But again, it's a really phenomenal attempt at an amazing premise and idea. I would love to see someone else take this idea, whether it's a Spielberg or a Fincher, you know, or somebody like that, and take this idea and spin it into their own unique tale. I'd like to see that. It's an interesting idea, and I don't think we're done with it. I think Christopher Nolan has been slowly wanting to do this movie. If you look at something like Memento, where the backwards storytelling and even going with the bold ideas from Interstellar and Inception, it seems like he's been wanting to go down this weird route for a while. And I think those films were successful enough to get him to this point. But I think this kind of stopped it in its tracks. I'm very curious to see what Nolan does next after this movie being a modest but kind of a failure at the same time. I'm curious to see what he'll do next and where his storytelling will go. I'm very curious. Definitely let me know what you guys think, but it's an interesting movie by far, and it's at least a movie that you have to watch. I would say once, but shit, once you watch it once, you kind of have to watch it 2 or 3 times, because it's just so much information jam-packed that in order to fully understand it, yeah, this is a movie that you fully need to digest over and over and over. Seriously. You definitely do. That's for damn sure. Not half bad with some Steelbook love and all of the other really great media. Not half bad, guys. All right. Let's see what other physical media we can find. And over on this side of the new releases, I am seeing they have the Blu-ray of The Dark and The Wicked for $12.99. She told you not to come. That's what she said. Oh, I couldn't help myself, guys. I couldn't. I'm sorry. It just was so. Oh, it was waiting for it. Clearly. Oh my God.
I had to. I know I'm terrible. Jeez. But I do like the cover though. I mean, I like with the red and the woman floating. It's kind of eerie. I like that, man. Haunting masterpiece. On a secluded farm, a man is bedridden and fighting through his final breaths while his wife slowly succumbs to overwhelming grief. Darkness similar to their mothers, marked by awakening nightmares. Ooh, some sort of... Okay, it's like some sort of like spirit or demonic entity that's consuming their family now? Oh, that's kind of creepy. Oh, that sounds kind of very fascinating, scary. Huh. This is one I might have to check out at some point. Freaking The Wicked. I knew it was coming out this week, but I hadn't gotten a chance to watch it, but this does look really interesting to me, and it's directed by Brian Bertino, who directed The Strangers, and I honestly really like him. I think he's actually a really great director. I mean, he's more well known for Strangers, obviously, but he also ended up doing a really great horror movie, I believe from 2016, called The Monster. And it's basically about this woman and her child that get stranded on the side of the road, and basically they're getting hunted by this creature that's trying to kill them and eat them. It's actually really good. He's kind of an underrated horror director. He had all that fame and everything from The Strangers, and then he didn't really do much high-profile stuff. He's been doing a lot of more smaller indie films. But this does look really good, actually. The Dark and the Wicked. Not gonna lie, that does look fascinating. However, they might want to change the tagline. She told you not to come. Because let me tell you, baby, that elicits all kinds of joke material. Just saying. And then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray of Chick Fight for $12.99, baby. Look at that. She's ready to rumble, hit like a girl. I'm not gonna lie, some girls are really badass, man. They could kick guys' asses all over town. Seriously, man. You do not want to mess with some chicks. Just saying, man. You don't want to do it. Now, I gotta talk a minute about Malin Ackerman, because Malin Ackerman, talk about an actress that is vastly, I don't know if I want to say underrated, but maybe undervalued, I would say, because she's actually better than a lot of the movies she's been in. I mean, she's been in some really good ones. I mean, Watchmen, I think, really put her on the map. I mean, she was pretty decent in Rampage. I liked her recently in Friendsgiving. But I think it's kind of the projects that she's picked, I guess, because she's picked a lot of these sort of soapy romantic comedies that are kind of just like, been there, done that, didn't really care for them. I mean, she was in Rock of Ages. She was okay in that, but let's be real, nobody came out of Rock of Ages unscathed. Nobody, baby. Everybody suffered in that one, man. Holy shit. Yeah, I mean, she also did The Heartbreak Kid with Ben Stiller. I mean, it's not terrible, but it's just kind of a lesser Ben Stiller comedy. She is a good actress when given the right material, man. Truly, she is. Like I said, I mean, if you see her in Watchmen, she is awesome in Watchmen. She truly is. And I actually did really like her in Electra Lux. Thought she was actually really good in that movie. I think she can still be leading lady material, but I think she's just got to pick the right projects. And she's been down a lot of roads where she's picked lesser movies, or movies that are not really high profile. I think she needs to pick better projects, but she's good. I mean, she's likable. She has a good sense of humor. She's funny. She can do action. I mean, she has everything. I guess it just kind of depends on the projects that you pick, right? Because some people luck out more than others. I mean, look. I mean, if Angelina Jolie picked bad projects, she'd be in the same situation as Malin Ackerman. I mean, just saying, it doesn't matter how hot you are. It matters what projects you pick. And if they're not making money for Hollywood, if they're not really high profile, people really watching them and paying attention to them, then I hate to say it, but nobody cares. I mean, you and I care because we're movie lovers, but everybody else, well, not really. I mean, I hate to say it. I mean, but she's had a long career, man. She's done a lot of really interesting stuff. She was even in that movie, The Skulls. You remember that one with Paul Walker and Joshua Jackson? She played like a random co-ed in that movie. Like, seriously, she did. She's been in some stuff, man, that you wouldn't even think she was in. Sort of random stuff before she was famous. But I will admit, she's got a great personality. She's got great screen presence. She's a good, kick-ass leading lady when she gets the right project. And Chick Fight is one of them. It's really well done. It's funny. It's got a really great sense of humor. The characters are likable. And it's cool to see chicks beating the shit out of other chicks. I mean, there's something about that's, not gonna lie, it's kind of hot. Maybe I should ask my girlfriend to be in a fight club. Well, she probably wouldn't. She'd just beat the shit out of me. No, fair enough. No special features here, but honestly, the movie itself is well worth it and way better than it has any right to be. Seriously, a movie called Chick Fight should be really bad, but honestly, pretty good. And then I'm seeing they have the Blu-ray of the opening act for $12.99. A little Cedric the Entertainer goodness on Blu-ray. Okay, let's talk about Cedric for a second, because I gotta admit, I'm not the biggest fan of Cedric the Entertainer. Okay, sure, I mean, I like Barbershop, and I think that's his most iconic role that he will ever have, truth be told. But I'm not a big fan of his comedy overall. I mean, I remember when he was hitting it big, he lumped himself in with people like Steve Harvey and Mike Epps, Bernie Mac, people like them. And a lot of those people are really no longer relevant, and no one's really talking about him. I mean, rest in peace, Bernie Mac. He was great, don't get me wrong. You know, but outside of the Ocean's films, which are really cool, you know, and the Bernie Mac show, I should say, which, you know, I guess he was probably, out of all of them, to me, Bernie Mac was the best. Mike Epps, oh shit, no one really talks about Mike Epps, like, at all. Really, the only thing I ever cared for him in is maybe Resident Evil Apocalypse. It's probably it. As far as Steve Harvey is concerned, I mean, well, at least he has Family Feud. You know? Hey, even Steve Harvey got to eat. But I mean, nobody really talks about these guys really that much anymore. Not even really Cedric the Entertainer. And I was never really a big fan of his comedy act and everything. I mean, for me, it's, as far as comedians are concerned, it's really hard to impress me. Because I go back to the old school stuff. I go back to the Rodney Dangerfields and the Sam Kinnisons and the Andrew Dice Clays. And I go back to all of those other people. You know, the Eddie Murphys, the Richard Pryors, you know, Chris Rock. Those are the people that I do, man. A lot of these people coming up, or even people like Cedric the Entertainer, Jimmy O. Yang, I'm sure they're good. And I don't want to say they're bad. I don't want to shit on them or anything, but at the end of the day, you know, for me, growing up with classics like a George Carlin, you know, a Bob Saget, and so many others, Whoopi Goldberg, Robin Williams, Billy Crystal, I mean, I could go on and on and on. I like the old school stuff more than I like the new school comedian acts. I really do. I don't know if you guys agree or disagree, but people like Cedric the Entertainer never really did anything to me. I mean, I know a lot of people love him, but it never was my thing. A lot of those people, the comedy just never really spoke to me, never really got to me. I'm not so sure on Jimmy O. Yang. I mean, I'm sure he's a good act. Is his comedy good? I gotta look it up. I can't say heads or tails. I gotta give that one a look. But I'm sure this is decent. But like I said, it reminds me of Punchline, and I really love Punchline. So if it doesn't match Punchline, then I don't know if I would be interested. Definitely let me know what you think about that. Actually, quite a few special features, man. Shit. And some stand-up scenes as well. Okay. All right. Could it be good? Yeah, it could be, but like I said before, these comedian style movies to me rarely work, but they have the potential to, but they rarely do. And honestly, what I didn't realize is that Cedric the Entertainer was the Reverend in Big Mama's house. Man, blast from the friggin' past. Man. Okay, outside of Barbershop, Big Mama. Okay, I'll give him that too. We also got some Blu-ray goodness of Infidel for $19.99. Very nice. And I gotta say, man, that I really do like Jim Caviezel. He's kind of underrated, to be honest with you. He's done a lot of really great movies. He's been a part of some really cool stuff. I mean, he was in G.I. Jane, which was awesome. He had a small role in The Rock. He played like a fighter pilot or some shit. Like, I was remembering that. I'm like, really? Jim Caviezel was in the fucking Rock? It's probably like a blink and you'll miss a thing. He was also in one of my favorite time travel dramas of all time, and that is Frequency. Dude, love that movie. Movie's fucking fantastic, man. He's been in some really great stuff. Hell, he was even in the Thin Red Line. So he's done some really cool dramas and some really good movies overall, man. He's a solid actor, but he really didn't get pure full-on notice until Passion of the Christ, man. Until he was on that motherfucking cross, man, getting sacrificed. That's when he really got noticed, man. And that movie, still to this day, I am shocked that movie got as much like massive fame as it did. I'm serious. I mean, the movie's good. I'm not saying it's bad or anything, but I was always like, God, the Passion of the Christ. Like, there's been so many movies about Christ, but that one was the one that broke through. I'm like, damn, man. But he was great in it. He was great. He was awesome, and he deserved all the love and praise that he got. Unfortunately, it kind of felt like he took all that goodwill from Passion of the Christ and maybe kind of turned it into a lot of roles that maybe weren't so good. He did a lot of these melodramas and these standard action thrillers that really didn't really play with a lot of people, weren't really all that popular. It was just kind of ho-hum. They were average. They were okay. I mean, I actually did really like him as the evil warden in Escape Plan. I actually thought he was actually pretty good in that, but he just kind of went from one role to another, not really capitalizing on the big gigantic fame that he got through Passion of the Christ. I mean, like I said, he's good in all those movies, those melodramatic roles and the standard thrillers, but they just didn't really break open the way that maybe he was hoping it would. He ended up doing that TV series Person of Interest, and I never saw it. I heard it was good. I heard it was a really good sort of spy thriller TV show. I thought it was actually, from what people have told me, actually a really good show overall, pretty decent, but I haven't heard much past that. I've never really watched, I may have actually watched one episode, but not really anything else past that. But he capitalized on that, did that for some years, and, got some notoriety through that. I mean, like I said, he's a good working man's actor, but is he, like, the most recognizable actor in the world? Is he, like top tier? When you think of Jim Caviezel, do you think, oh my God, okay, this is top tier actor material? No, you don't, but he's good at his craft. And he's just a steady working actor. And I kind of appreciate that. I don't think he's ever going to get the kind of fame that he got from Passion of the Christ. That's kind of like a once in a lifetime role that you get. That honestly, 9 times out of 10, that movie probably wouldn't be as successful as it was and as high profile. But like that one time, and it just happened to, everything worked out just the way it was supposed to, man. And he deserved the praise, but he's good, but I don't know if he's like great. But I think movies like Infidel and old school movies like Frequency and everything really show that he is a good actor given the right role. He's never going to be top tier acting material, but then again, at the end of the day, some of the top tier acting material don't really deserve it either. So if you're good at your craft and you can skate by and doing some average stuff but be the best within an average movie, or be in a high profile movie and be the worst among the bunch, I'd probably take the former. Just saying, man. Just saying. They do have feature commentary, though. Not bad for special features. This is a really fantastic movie. The thrills and the drama is really well done, and it's just a really great eye-opening movie that is played very well done, man. And Jim Caviezel, as always, man, solid actor. Does a really great job, man. Well deserved by far, man. Then I'm also seeing they have the Blu-ray of The Expanse Season 4 for $31.99. Nice, look at that. Ready to go on a mission, baby. Honestly, I've never seen any episodes of The Expanse. Seriously, I've never seen a single episode of this show at all. I don't know whether it's good, whether it's bad. I've heard people really like this show, man. Like, it's actually some premium quality sci-fi, or at least that's what people tell me. I love good science fiction. I mean, I used to watch the old school stuff back in the day, like, you know, the Stargates of the world and those old school ones, but I haven't gotten into like a space science fiction show in a really long time. I don't know, some of the ones I've seen on Sci-Fi Channel were kind of chintzy and kind of cheapo, and I didn't really like them. I kind of gave them a try, and when The Expanse came out, it looked interesting, but I was kind of a little bit hesitant about maybe giving it a chance, thinking, oh god, I'm going to invest in something and it's going to be really terrible and I'm going to waste my time, and I didn't want to do that. So I'm kind of asking you guys, is it good? Is it worth it? Like I said, if it's gotten to season 4, it can't be all bad, right? I mean, is it well done? Is it like good characters? Is the CGI well done? Do they explore good science fiction themes? I mean, I'm not asking for Star Trek or nothing, but I kind of want to be engaged with my science fiction. Is it good? Is it bad? Definitely let me know. I mean, I love David Strathairn. He's awesome. So if he's in it, that's already a good sign. And doesn't this air on the Sci-Fi Channel? I think it does. I don't know much about this, but I definitely gotta look into it. But I will, depending on your recommendations, guys. So definitely let me know what you think of The Expanse. Haven't watched a good science fiction space show in a while. I mean, the last good one I really watched was Farscape. I'm not saying this is going to be as good as Farscape, but if it's kind of close to it, then damn, sign me up. We also got the DVD digital of Echo Boomers for $11.99, man. I'm kind of shocked to see this because usually they don't always have a lot of DVDs here, but I guess they made an exception for Echo Boomers. All right, shit. Now, I gotta give special notice to Patrick Schwarzenegger. I gotta do it, man, because he is a pretty good young actor, man. Truth be told, he really is. I think a lot of people see him as, oh, well, of course, he's, Arnold Schwarzenegger's son, and, of course, he's gonna get these roles because, he's good looking, and he's got a famous father. But I think he's doing some really unique and interesting stuff that is not the standard big budget action stuff that you probably expect from Patrick Schwarzenegger. I mean, he did the Scout's Guide to the Zombie Apocalypse, which ain't half bad, honestly. I forgot he was actually in Grown Ups too. He played one of the frat boys. Probably not the best credit to his resume, but okay, I guess if you can get a role, why the hell not? He also did that young adult romance movie Midnight Sun, which, truth be told, is not a terrible movie. I mean, it ain't the greatest, but it's not bad, honestly. It's pretty decent overall. He also did this really great, like, psychological horror movie called Daniel Isn't Real. And that is really fantastic, man. That is a great goddamn movie. I don't know if many people really know about that film, but I'm telling you, guys, you gotta check that one out. Daniel Isn't Real is really unique, man. Very interesting. And Patrick Schwarzenegger playing this sort of like evil influence, amazing. Dude he did fantastic, man. I like that he's going in a different direction in his career than would be expected. Because if you think about the name Schwarzenegger, you think action. You think, okay, he's going to do these big budget action films. He's going to go down the same road as his father. And he's not doing that. And I honestly actually appreciate that. Because when you want to do something different and want to carve out your own different niche, I truly appreciate it, man. And he does a great job in Echo Boomers, as he's done in most of his roles. Give the man credit. He's doing some unique and interesting things. Will he always? I mean, hey, if a good role comes along and it's a big budget film, why the hell not take it? And look, you're always going to trade off of the Schwarzenegger name in some way. So if he can get a good old action role because of the name Schwarzenegger, guess why not do it? But it depends on how good you are at your craft. And right now, Patrick Schwarzenegger is actually definitely, I appreciate him. Oh, what do we have here? The Ip Man Complete Collection for $51.99. Look at this. Ooh, this is nice. The Complete Collection, baby. Oh, nice. All 4 of the Ip Man movies. Plus it looks like there's like a couple of booklets in here as well. Oh, and they're actually, if you can look, actually, they're the 4K editions plus the Blu-rays. Ooh, very nice. Look at that. Oh, so good. God, I love this series. I knew this was coming out, but I didn't know it was coming out, like, here at Best Buy, because actually, I'm not going to lie, guys, I actually ordered this. I actually ordered this online through another retailer, because I was like, I didn't think that nobody was going to have this. Stupid me, of course, but I love this series. Truly, man. I mean, Donnie Yen is awesome here. Donnie Yen, I say it all the fucking time, man, and I'm serious. Donnie Yen does not get the love that he truly deserves. I mean, yeah, the Jet Lis of the world and Jackie Chan and all those other really great martial artists are awesome, and they deserve all the love that they possibly get, and rightfully so, man. They're awesome, but God, you gotta give some love to Donnie. Seriously, man, he is really good. He truly is, man. He's just a really great martial artist, and this role fits him like a glove. All 4 of the movies are great, man. I love them all. I really like the 4th one, and I think my favorite is the one where he fought Mike Tyson. I think that was my favorite one, where he fought by Mike Tyson, man. Oh, Jesus, man. Donnie Yen versus Mike Tyson. So good, man. And it comes in a really nice box, too. Huh. I can't wait to get mine, actually. I'm really happy about that. However, I noticed that it has this, like, really ding right here. It has a bad ding on it. And I know that probably doesn't really, it probably doesn't really matter to sort of average collectors or anything. It probably doesn't. But for somebody like me, it really matters. I don't know why, man. I mean, I kind of look at my collection, and I get it. Everyone says, well, it is about the movies after all, and I know. But there's something about the collection that you really love and you really want to cherish, and you want everything to be in pristine condition. As a collector, if I'm paying the money, that's kind of what I want. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it looks good though, and I can't wait to get it. I own a couple of the movies already, but to have them in 4K quality, when this got announced, I had to get up on it. I just didn't think it would be here at Best Buy, but if you love martial arts, if you love Donnie Yen, the Ip Man series is awesome, and in 4K, for $51.99, all of the movies, the bonus features, and the cool box, actually, that's a pretty good price. I'm not gonna lie, man. and some good Donnie Yen martial arts action in the collection, how can that ever really be beat? And it looks like one more thing worth checking out, and that is Alone for $11.99. I know this one came out this week. I'm pretty positive it did as well. What are you running from? I really like that cover, man. With her looking in the mirror and seeing the headlights. Really eerie. Kind of reminds me almost like the artwork or something for It Follows. Kind of reminds me of that. It's interesting. What it's about? Who's Wilcox stars as Jessica, a grief-stricken widow who... Ooh! She escaped in the wilderness and is pursued by her captor. Oh! You want to know what that kind of reminds me of? It kind of reminds me of that old school movie with Ashley Judd, Kiss the Girls. It actually reminds me of that movie. However, with Kiss the Girls, it was actually more of like the aftermath after she escaped, and then trying to find the killer from there, which is, the movie's still phenomenal. Kind of has shades of that. Or even like that movie Room with Brie Larson. It reminds me of that as well. It looks interesting. There's this white knuckle thriller. That doesn't look half bad. I like the cover, and the synopsis is pretty good. That one might be worth diving into. I haven't seen a really good movie like Kiss the Girls in a really long time, man. I mean, Kiss the Girls is amazing. And then they did that sort of pseudo sequel with Morgan Freeman, like Along Came a Spider, which was not as good. But Kiss the Girls is amazing. So if this is anything like Kiss the Girls, might be well worth it. Just saying, especially for that cover, man. Really eerie and creepy. Not bad. Not bad at all. They got that and a bunch of other selection, man. Actually quite nice this week over at the Beast. Not half bad as usual. All right, let's head out. Is it just me, or does Bob Ross get a hell of a lot more love now than he did back in the day? All these weird action figures and plushies. What is the fascination? I don't understand. And why does he have a squirrel in his pocket? The things that literally confound me. Oh boy. So many questions and not enough answers. Hey, at least we got one answer, guys, which is the awesome physical media at Best Buy. Best Buy definitely delivered, dare I say, all of the new releases, exclusives, box sets, and titles we had not seen at some of the other stores yet. Oh, Best Buy, the Beast, definitely delivered, as always, guys. What I tell you, they deliver most of the time. When they're on their game, they are on their game. And this time, they definitely were. Not half bad, and not half bad for physical media releases and some very unique movies. Not half bad this week. Not half bad at all. Hope you enjoyed it. How about we head home and finish the video? All right, everybody. That'll do it for the Blu-ray and DVD Out and About video this week. And this turned out to be another solid week of physical media. I'm kind of shocked, man. I mean, I keep on thinking there's going to be a week that's going to be a little lesser, and I thought this was definitely going to be the week. Because I thought, okay, outside of Tenet, I wasn't quite sure, but it surprised me. I mean, there was some good stuff this week. I mean, sci-fi and action, crime drama, a lot of horror goodness. Some really good stuff this week, man. A lot of cool stuff worth diving into. And look, I get it. Trust me, guys, your wallet is hurting bad. I mean, my wallet's hurting pretty bad, too. I spent a lot of money on all these sales, man. And it's tough to kind of open it back up without some, cobwebs flying out. But if you're willing to, there is some really good releases this week. Definitely worth diving into. Definitely let me know what you guys picked up, if anything. And I got
one package in the mail, and it's actually starting to flood in with the Black Friday sales from last month. It is starting to, and one of the first ones is from Dark Force Entertainment. Oh, wow, man. Dark Force. Woo. I picked up 3 titles from their Black Friday sale. The first is this really underwater horror flick. Another one that's kind of reminiscent of Jaws, a little bit more B-movie cheese-like, but one that has the same type of flavor. Another one that is sort of a Italian style Last House on the Left on a train. Interesting. And a crime drama from the late 80s with Robert Forster. Wow, man. Some really unique and very interesting titles this time around that I picked up. I don't always order from Dark Force, but this time around I figure why not get a couple of newer titles, one title that I can get that still had the exclusive slipcover, so why not? One of many upcoming Black Friday packages that I will be getting. Trust me, guys. They're gonna all start flooding in one by one. And here's one of the first. Can't wait for the rest, man. But you guys will not get to find out exactly what I picked up until my Blu-ray pickup video for December, which will hit sometime next month. It will show off all the titles that I picked up. And my God, man, I'm gonna be real with you. Once I get a lot of these Black Friday packages in the mail, I'm gonna have a hefty haul for the final month of December. I mean, seriously, a lot of out-of-print titles, retro, 80s, 90s, 70s, a lot of horror flicks, and a lot of good deals that I am definitely... God, I can't wait to dive into them. It's going to be so good, guys. It's going to be the last month of 2020, and trust me, it is going to be a good one. It's going to be the best. Seriously. So I cannot wait to show you guys. And also, within these next few weeks, you will be getting another Blu-ray pickup video for October. I'm going to get that out to you guys. Possibly a movie review that my friends and I are working on. And perhaps some other videos as well. I'm trying to work overtime for you guys. Trying to do as much as I possibly can. I know it's the holiday season. I'm trying to spend time with family. I'm trying to, buy presents. I'm trying to celebrate Hanukkah. And also try to work hard for each and every one of you who support the channel and really go out of your way to watch the videos. I'm trying to do it all. I'm only one man. But I promise you, I will do my best. And before I let you guys go, I wanted to talk about something real quick. It's not a news article or anything like that, I swear. It's actually just wanting to talk a minute about physical media and how thankful I am for the format in general. I just wanted to, because, we're in the holidays now, and there's a lot to be thankful for in the holidays. Your family, your friends, a roof over your head, a job to go to. There's a lot of things. And I'm thankful for all of them. But I'm also extremely thankful for physical media, because for me, physical media has brought me so much joy in my life, and things that I will take to my grave. Friendships that are going to last a lifetime. A YouTube channel that I never thought in a million years I was actually ever going to make. But because of that love of physical media and how I wanted to share it, I went for it. And discovering movies and discovering, great conversations with people over the internet, over the love of movies and of physical media. 2020 has been such a wild ride. and it's still not over yet, but it's close. And with all the uncertainty going on in the world, the one thing that I could always trust on was physical media. I'd go into a store and I'd find something worth checking out. And that always gave me a bright spot in a dreary and dark time. And you have no idea how much of a comfort it is when I see people going out of their way to buy holiday movies on Blu-ray or DVD, or check out the new releases, or pick something up, because it means that physical media is not dead. And it means that physical media still has a place in the world. And that just because streaming is taking over, just because streaming is being more prevalent, doesn't mean that physical media is just going to get kicked to the curb. It's people like you, it's people like me that continue to support this and support these formats and support these gems being put on a format that's going to last and persevere. And to me, I learned the value of movies through physical media, through my mother and my father, through VHS and then DVD and onto Blu-ray and now 4K. And, just like my mother and father did for me, I hope to do with my kids in the future. And share that same love and passion. And so, for me doing this and talking about movies and physical media with you guys, it's not a fad. It's not a passing phase. It's my life. It's in my blood. I live this. And I guess in this holiday season, I'm just very thankful for physical media and the fact that it's still around, and the fact that one of my great loves in the world is still here. Some people, they don't always have that luxury, and I'm glad to have it. I mean, there's a lot of worse addictions to get into, guys. Physical media, at least to me, is one of the better ones. So, I just wanted to say that I am truly thankful for physical media and how it's brought me a lot of joy in my life and continues to do it to this day. And I just wanted to say a few words about it. But I hope you guys enjoyed my thoughts. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, definitely give it the thumbs up. And if you're new to the channel, welcome. Check out the other Blu-ray and DVD videos I do every single Tuesday. Check out the movie hunting videos I do, including Dollar Tree hunts, the Blu-ray pickup videos, movie reviews with my friends, live streams, and another new series on the channel, The Honest Truth, where I talk about movie news and topics, discussions. Oh, things are growing and changing with the channel all the time, and they will continue to do so. It's an evolution. This channel is an evolution, baby, and I can't wait to see where it goes next. But if you love how I talk about movies and physical media, definitely hit subscribe. Become part of the Film Fan Nation. I want to thank all of you out there beyond words for supporting the channel, for supporting me, for giving me great ideas, and going out of your way, your daily lives to watch what I have to say. And it really humbles me. And it says to me that, my love of movies and physical media, that I'm not alone, that you guys are with me. And I truly, truly appreciate it. I honestly do. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. Truly. Thank you. Honestly. And keep up to date with everything I'm doing through Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. FilmFan108. Keep up to date with everything I'm doing, plus special pictures and videos I do from time to time on social media as well. Alright, guys. This was a pretty decent out and about, and hopefully next week will be just the same. But I will be back next week to talk about all that physical media goodness. So, in the meantime, enjoy movies, enjoy time with your family and friends, and
happy hunting.